Live tonight. We are indeed. If you're going to catch us on the replay tonight, make sure you like, subscribe, share, join our channel, all of that good stuff. So I'm checking a couple things here before we get excited too much tonight. Man. We thank everybody for being here. Out and about on the M&D. How are you, my friend? Good to see you again tonight. We're just kind of getting motivated to go live here, so get you guys set up in the old tripod so we can sit and have many conversations and be long-winded about this and that and everything else. So, how are things going for you? Out and about? How are things? Telling you. Oh man, my back hurts today. Allergies acting up a little bit in this part of the country. But Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I dropped a new video today, so I got to work on some more tomorrow. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up I see. So, oh man, I'm telling you, it's hard getting old. It's hard getting old. Say nope, 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 nope. We, yeah, I feel like I'm old today. Do I look old today? I feel like I'm old today. So I don't know if I look old or not, but I feel old today. So thank you all for being here, man. It is Tuesday night in my part of the world. It got up to about 66, 67 degrees. It's 60 degrees now. It's about 7:15 p.m. So thank you all for being here and joining us tonight. We, let me get the iPad fired up so I can read chat a little bit better later tonight. We've been busy today. I don't feel like I got anything done today, but I've been busy. How about you guys? What's going on in all of y'all's world? Anything exciting? Anything unexciting? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you depressed? You know? Patel's in the house. What's up, Father? How are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. We got 9 people in the background watching. You guys come forward, drop some chats, get to know each other. Say hello to one another, which is very important to me. If you got a YouTube channel, let us know. If you're blue, you can drop when you like. ERI says hi. Well, hello to you. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here. We appreciate the thumbs up. We got 14 watching in the background. You guys don't be shy. Just because I'm a good-looking American, don't be shy if you're from another country. It's okay. We don't bite in this part of the world. We actually respect everybody, every country, everywhere, everything. So we're glad everybody's here. You know, I'm doing pretty good. My back's a little sore. I'm old. It's starting to warm up in my part of the country. It's spring, but it's kind of like a cold spring. And, so we're waiting for the real spring because I'm an outdoor type person. I like warm weather and, not so much. So, but physically, I'm doing all right. Psychologically, I'm doing all right. My wife is working, slaving away, trying to make money so I can buy stuff. But thank you all for being here. Thumbs up. Drop a notice in the chat. Let us know who you are and say hello. And say hello to everybody. Everybody say hello to Tim. Tim say hello to everybody. Good evening, Pack. You're rocking your blue shirt. Yeah, this is kind of actually, Tim, maybe you can't see it. This one's more purplish. The one I had last night has much more bluer in it. I got this one in Aruba, believe it or not. I bought this one and a couple of others in Aruba. And I really like this one, but yeah, maybe it's dark blue, but in certain lights it kind of has a purple vibe. I don't have a purple watch to go with it or a purple hat, which I did. I wish I did, but I don't. But yeah, this one fits me pretty good now that I've lost 60 pounds. So I'll get to wear this one all summer. Oh man, that's some good. I made iced tea today. That's a thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. Royal blue, yeah. I got a beautiful green one that I bought in Aruba too. And I got one that I bought in the Bahamas that I can't find. I don't know if somebody stole it or not. It has a lot of really cool fiery colors. And I've been trying to find it the last couple years, but I don't know whatever happened to it. So I'm afraid I lost it or somebody took it or, somebody hates me and stole my shirt, or maybe they admire me. So, I'm watching the door. See my dog. I don't know if she really needs to go outside or she's just aggravated. So, what I do is I shut that doggy door a lot in the evenings because we have so many people walking in the neighborhood and they have walked so many dogs and the dogs all fight with each other. So, but I think it's calming down enough. I'll let you look outside for a second. Let me go fix that doggy door so my girls can go out. You want to go out? All right, don't bark. All righty. Well, me too, but I can't find it, so it's either buried in a box somewhere, or, I've given a lot of tropical shirts away over the years. Companies have sent me tropical shirts, to wear, but a lot of them are too small because they don't realize how fat I am. And so I've given a lot of tropical shirts away. But I don't think I would have given that one away because I actually really like it. I just can't find it. So, but I don't think I would have done that. So, but what's going on in your world, part of the world, E? Tim is probably hanging out in the Philippines, having his breakfast now because it's nighttime here, morning time in the Philippines. You like the fish tank? Yeah, that's my wife's fish tank. It only has about 6 fish in it. We try not to keep it crowded. We don't like to overcrowd fish tanks. So yeah, that's my wife's little hobby, that's hers. I don't touch it. One thing you learn when you're married, right? Is sometimes it's easier just not to touch certain things and let the women folk have at it and do whatever they're gonna do and just say, whatever. Sounds good to me, So, fish tank's one of them. I let her kind of control the care of the dogs. And I don't want to argue with her about, the dogs. So I don't want to argue with her about her fish tank. She has her own garden spots outside where she's going to grow vegetables. Those are hers. She can do them however she wants, whether she messes them up or they are perfect. I don't care. They're not my business. Because if I try to help her, I'm going to be wrong. So she's going to grow Filipino green beans. She's going to be growing hot peppers, like 1,000 of them, even though we don't really eat hot peppers, which is funny. She's going to be growing cucumbers, and I got one cherry tomato plant, and I think she's going to grow some bell peppers. But everything but the cherry tomato plant is hers. So I'll help her do the soil, move the soil. But that's her baby. I'm not gonna give her any advice because she's not gonna listen to me anyway. I love your paintings. They're so pretty. Yeah, you like the paintings? We got a bunch of them. There's that one, and I don't know, you can probably see that one, you know. But that's all stuff my wife picked out. There's some paintings over there somewhere. See, like, that's a med set. You can't see it, but that one and that other orange you see in the hallway, that's a match set. So, be glad you're not here. It got up to 98 at 1 p.m. and by 11 p.m. it was still 95 degrees. I remember those days in the Philippines, Tim. I remember there was many nights. We had a neighbor who was from Pakistan who was married to a Filipina, really nice guy, and they had a business there and really good guy. And I remember many nights we would all go running around 11 p.m., 12 midnight in the city, and it would just be unbelievably hot, kind of uniquely hot. Because, everybody, if you're in America, it gets hot, right? But it usually cools off when the sun sets. But that didn't happen in the Philippines. After dark, it just stayed hot. And I remember thinking, man, we'd go over to another part of the city, like IT Park in Cebu or something, and get ice cream or Coke or something, and sit outside. And I'd be like, man, I like the hot weather, but it's hot at 11 p.m. at night. So, yeah, but I gotta admit, I know I'm gonna hate it and come August, how hot it is here. But I gotta admit, I'm looking forward to some good 70s and 80s degree weather, Tim. It's been just a cold, damp winter for us. You guys would be shocked if you knew how much Gatorade I drank in the Philippines. I probably drank gallons of this every week in the Philippines because I sweated and was so dehydrated so much. Because you can't really drink the water. You can drink the bottled water. But I drank Gatorade like crazy in the Philippines and still lost weight, unbelievably. No wind, bad air quality, right. So I remember that, Tim. We would sit out in the city, Cebu City. We'd go out and do things. And man, no wind, no breeze, just a lot of mosquitoes. And yeah, I know, Tim. I'm with you, buddy. Yeah, the gasoline smells, the Philippines can be a great place, but there's definitely times that the Philippines stinks. It smells bad. So, is the volcano still going crazy, Tim? Or has the volcano settled down? HTN is back in the house tonight. Hello, everybody from HTN. Everybody, say hello, HTN, to everybody. Glad you're here, Henry. How are you? What's going on? What's going on? Give us an update. Do you have an update on your new girlfriend? Are you? Would you consider give us an update. Things going well? Are you planning to go to the Philippines sooner than later? What's going on? Tell us, gossip. We need it. We need the inside track. So yeah, it's Tuesday here, guys, but it got a little warm. But we're really looking forward to Alabama in a couple weeks because we know it's going to be in the upper 70s and the 80s, maybe even the mid 80s to early, So we are really tired. I know, Tim, how hot it's in the Philippines, but I actually enjoyed the heat in the Philippines more than America than the cold. It's one thing I hate is the cold weather. No updates on the volcanoes? Okay, all right. Yeah, I showed Lorelai today that it was erupting. It's going good. I'm planning on there in October after cruising the coast. Ah, so you're going to the Philippines this year. Woohoo! Which island are you going to? Which island are you going to? we were, we really wanted to go back in May for a wedding, but we just can't do it. We really just can't, but we really wanted to do that. Now, and this is the year 2025. We're not going to get back in the Philippines this year at all. So, but I think mid to late of 2026, we're going to get there. So, let's see here. I'm sure you know who she is. Oh, okay, hang on. Let me get caught up. Really? I'm sure I know who she is. Really? Okay, I'm gonna have to work on that, Henry, because now you got me inquisitive. Let's see. The Gabe is here. We got our friend, I can't pronounce your name, NSZDH. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Gabe says, how are you? We're doing good. Message held for review. Do I got somebody trying to troll me already? Oh man, I love trolls. You got to use, if you can, I'll show your, nobody's going to be able to understand what you're saying. So if you can do a little English or a few emojis, that's okay. So I think your message is being held review because it doesn't. You're just doing gibberish. All right, so I'll show everybody what you're doing. You're just doing gibberish. And if that's all you want to do is gibberish, that's great. I'm happy to have you here. And Gabe says, hi, Tim. Tim says, HDN. I don't know anybody. And Davo. Man, HDN, you're in Davo. Okay, we're going to have to play like, 50 clues because there's just so many that I know. Tim, do I know them? Henry, I'm sorry, Henry, do I know them? Have they ever been on my live stream? The Gabe says he's doing great. Our M friend is still just doing gibberish, which I think is great. Just keep up the gibberish. I appreciate it. Scotty B's in the house. Good morning from the Philippines. How are you, Scotty? Good to see you, buddy. What's going on in your world, man? Tim says, hello, GA. The Gabe, what? Let's see. Our friend M is still just doing gibberish. Troll, yeah, that's all right. He's not saying anything bad, so I'm happy to let him be a troll. It helps to, it helps my chat count. And so everybody say hello to the M who can't spell anything. So Gabe said, hello, Tim. Until we have to punish him, he's fine. So, let's see. Gabe says, what? Yeah, this message is being, she was on here yesterday. Oh, so are you going to the province? Henry, am I on the right track now? Yeah, let's see. Scotty B, hello. How are you, Scotty, my friend? Good to see you, Gabe. Yeah, something else like that, Gabe, right? I like it when he gets hot here. Everybody says how hot I look. Woo-hoo! I never thought about that one. So M is enjoying dropping out a bunch of words he can't spell because he doesn't know how to. So, but that's all right. Look, we appreciate everybody on this channel, whether you can spell or not. We're okay with you. All right. So don't feel bad about it. Can I call you Scotty? Yes, you can call Scotty because Scotty's name is Scotty. Morning to all, says Filipina Bai in the province. How are you? All right, so I'm getting it now, Henry. Am I putting one and one together and making two? Am I doing that? Am I starting to put one and one equals two? Am I doing that? All right, am I, because you know how my brain works, Henry. I got that squishy brain, so sometimes it's got to be we all look hot in the Philippines. I looked hot in the Philippines. I will have to say, I've been told I look hot everywhere. Howdy, Gabe. You know, I got it, Henry. I put two and two together and got five. I put it together. So that's great. I'm very happy for you both. You guys are going to go hang out together in the Philippines. So Henry's going to go hang out with the young Miss Bai. Excellent. Night Filipina Bai in the province from our good little friend Gabe. Filipina says, hello to you, Filipina, from Tim. So our friend M still can't figure out how to type or spell anything, or maybe he's just not articulate. I don't know. Hello, Tim. But that's great. He just keeps dropping chats. I'm good with it. It's just kicked me out of YouTube. What? Who kicked you out of YouTube? How could it have kicked you out if you made a comment? So come on back, Gabe. Imagine's back in the house. AK-40 Smack 11 do. Yeah, something like that. Don't mind my message. Okay, we won't mind it. So M is still trying to spell a word that he doesn't know. Do you have a dictionary, M? Maybe that would help you. So Gabe, I imagine box. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. Young Miss Bai is laughing because she knows that I know now. I know the secret. I see it. I see it. And I think it's a good thing. I am excited for you both. Hey, I know what we should call him. Hi, Gabe 5, Image is saying. Jimmy! Jimmy? We just call him M. That's all. You see the first letter of all of his letters is a capital M, and his moniker is M, so I just call him M. Maybe we can teach him how to read and write and spell. That's something we're good at. I used to be a teacher. So, wait, no, Timmy. Nah, Timmy's not here. How are you doing, Dave? Scotty B, you guys are avoiding all of this. No, we're not avoiding them. We got them. We got 6 inches of rain in 2 days. But yes, we missed all of the tornadoes and the flooding in my part. But we were part of the rain cycle. But yes, we didn't get any tornadoes like a lot of places did, Scotty. And we didn't have any real flooding here, just small local flooding. ERI is saying hello. So everybody say hello to ERI. Young Miss Bai says, hello, Gabe. How are you? See, well, he's trying to spell a word. I don't know if he knows. Maybe he's just, maybe he's dyslexic. Gabe says hello to you, ERI, so please say hello to each other. M loves to give kisses. That's good. My dogs like to give kisses too, Back to you, Gabe, saying hello. What is he putting in the chat? Oh, those red things are lips. He's wanting to kiss me. Do you know me, Gabe? ERI says. He's like, hey, Gabe, do you know me? Maybe we're gaming friends. He's putting kissy emojis. That's right. Hopefully M is a woman. I'm hoping he's a woman. Or she's a woman. You know what I mean? Since they want to kiss me, I'm hoping they're a woman. The game, Scotty, what's going on? Hi, Mom. That's it. So how are you going in? How things in the Philippines, buddy? What's going on for your words besides the heat? No, I don't think so. Imagine UNC Stacy's coming in. Okay. It's snowing in New York State. Good. Yeah, we got a little bit of a cool front that came in to the Midwest the last couple of days. In New York would be the upper Midwest, but you know what I mean, the East. Sorry, the Mideast, not the Midwest, the Mideast. Sorry. Well, New York State deserves it. Troll sounds better for him. Yeah, we just call him him because, maybe he just can't read and write. I don't know. We almost got a tornado. Yes, yes. So tornadoes are bad. ERI says, are you Pat? To Gabe. If you're thinking of our other friend Pat, Pat will be here shortly probably. So IRL. Did you change your name or anything? Imagine says, Tim says hello to you. Gabe says, no. Gabe, my name is Gabriel, yes. So he's not Gabe is not Pat. They closed the Mackensaw Bridge for 2 days because of ice. Ooh, wee. It's late. You northern people, would you guys still consider it kind of late in the year for ice and snow, or is it just on the tail end of ice and snow weather? So let's see. It looks like M is having bathroom issues. Well, we're sorry for you. Maybe you should go to the doctor. Oh, I know they are. Who am I? IRL. I don't know who you are. Yeah, let's see. I think we've seen this troll before. Yes. You know, I'm sure we have. I enjoy the trolls. Trolls are welcomed on this channel. They help my chat count. They grow my YouTube channel. So welcome in all you trolls. We love having you. You know, we even accept Jack as a troll once in a while. So Gabe, can you stop, please? Just don't pay any, if he bugs you, Gabe, just don't pay any attention to it. Scotty, hello, HDN. Henry, Scotty saying hello. Scotty, Henry is getting ready to go to the Philippines in October. So, Gabe or M. America is great. Yes, it is great. It's a great country, great thing. So, yeah, just don't stress, Gabe. Let's see. YouTube and ERS. I don't care. Okay, I'm happy. Good. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Oh, so he's just now he can't spell a word. Do you know what a valve is, M? You know, if you put valves in letters, sometimes you can spell out words. Hey, Scotty from Henry. Well, H10, I think that's really good news. Exciting. We'll have to talk more about it, you know, at some point in time. But I think that's good. America, you're saying America. You go. I want to say this, and this is not to pick on you, Gabe, but when we talk about, you know, your home country, we want to say it with reverence. Instead of saying America, go ahead and say the whole thing, America. We need to take pride in things. Like if I'm from Arkansas and I'm proud of it, I'm going to, you know, pronounce Arkansas. I want to emphasize things that I'm proud of and I'm happy about. Jack, maybe Jack, who knows? No, it's just changing if the season's from snow to ice and 70 degrees and ice. Yes, I know, it's crazy, right? The dog, yes, there you go. You spelled 2 words. Holy crap, everybody. Start clapping your hand for M. They figured out they could spell a couple words. He can dog, no way. I know, it's amazing, right? Henry wants to come here so everyone says he's hot also. Well, he's got a Filipina hanging out in the chat that thinks he's hot. So he's already got a Filipina eyeballing him going, woohoo, Henry. So he's already hot. Chris is in the house. How are you? The whole thing is the United States of America. That's right. That's right. The United States of America. Proud to be an American. It's hot here in Mississippi right now. What's the temp in Mississippi, Henry? What are you doing? Because we're looking forward to Alabama in a couple weeks. Gabe says, hello, Chris. M is still confused again. So, Mississippi, that's far. It is far for you in Texas. It's not, Alabama's, where we're going in Alabama, it's a 12-hour drive. Mississippi is about a 9-hour drive from me. Well, he has bathroom issues, you know, and look, we shouldn't pick on people that can't control their bowel movements. So, you know, we got to feel sorry for them. We got to give them empathy and, you know, and encourage them to learn how to go to the bathroom correctly, I guess, is what we have to do. So, Oh, M is saying they're an old man. Okay, I understand now. Gabe says, "Sweet Home Alabama." I like that song. I feel good about Alabama. I like being there. It's kind of a good vibe. So look, M, there's nothing wrong with being old. We accept you anyway. Don't know the full song, me either anymore. I'm getting close to 80 here. Nice, nice, nice. Hey, you need to quit it now and just me. Nah, don't worry about it, Gabe. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I don't mind. It's okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm sure you're younger than they are, and you're probably more mature. I would agree with that. All right, Henry, if you're tired of them, you know what you can do. Henry, you're blue, so if you want to, go ahead. So, so he's surrendering and running and crying. He knows that you're going to block him. So go ahead and do it. I don't care, Henry. It's been near 100 degrees here the last couple of days. Scotty says that's what Tim was saying. So nice and hot in the Philippines, even at nighttime. So, oh, Henry, I thought you were gonna delete him. Here, I'll put him in timeout. How's that? Put in timeout. Let's give him timeout. All right, I put him in timeout, everybody. See there, we put him in timeout. So everybody can celebrate that he went to timeout. But yeah, whoops. What's up from Luffy? We're hoping for really good warm weather down in Alabama when we come, so you do have to know me for me to be a blue name tag thingy. Well, you got to be over age of 21 on my channel, and I know you're not. So you got to be the age of 21 and older, Gabe, okay? Hi, Luffy. It's got to be, wow, how many hours is 86? 10 hours? I think it was 10 hours. No, 5 hours? I don't know. I don't remember what I put now, Scotty. I just kind of went in and went boom. I don't know, man. I don't know how long it was. I just go in and go, yeah, you know. Hey, Gabe, Luffy saying, Dennis, I heard a rumor that the man, uh-oh, you took your message away. Man, I didn't get to read your message. Did you see Henry and Bai is now, they're armed candying each other, Dennis. It looks like Bai and Henry are going to be armed candying back in October, in next coming October. One Piece is my favorite anime. I don't know what that is. If it rocks, wait. I'll be going to S&R this morning. Nice. What are you going to buy? Groceries? I mean, what are you going to, anything particular? What if I lie about my name? Exactly. It could be anybody. I'm 99 years old. Well, that's all right, but I know you didn't. Because I hate to tell you this, the only people that are as old as what you're showing, they're collecting Social Security here in America. So, yes, Luffy, I've gone, not today, I've been inside the whole day, but I do go outside and do lives a lot, and I do a lot of lives inside, so yes. Oh, I understand what you're saying, but I know. I can tell, man. I have psychic powers. I don't know if Tim is hot as me. Well, look, when it's above 90, maybe everybody's just hot, right? So, hey, HDN, is your name Henry? It is. I think Henry went to go flirt with Bai. There he is. I heard a rumor about a man, the legend, and the myth. That's HTN. Oh, hell, I thought you were going to say me. Is going to be an instant papa with Queen Bee with 5 kids. That's what he's saying. Yeah, in October. Henry, we put we put the poo poo guy in timeout. So, hey, Gabe, hello all from Dennis. Dennis, good to have you. How are things for you? My wife told me to tell you hello, Guinness. Dennis, by the way. I was thinking of beer, Guinness, Dennis, But my wife wanted me to tell you hello. I will go for some New England clam. Ooh, I love New England clam chowder. I'm a clam chowder eating fool, buddy. I like it. I like it. I like clam chowder now. Man. What does your name have a star? They're a member. They paid to be a member of my YouTube channel. If they got a star, they're a member. Like Dennis has a yellow star. So he's been a member of our channel for a long time. Does your wife know who I am? Of course she does. Yeah, you have. You haven't seen my wife? I thought you saw her on the weekend. She's a really pretty Asian girl. Because I'm a Canadian special. Woohoo! I can't stay up that late. Well, I thought you were on the weekend one time. Geez, I'm famous. You are famous, Gabe. See, everybody knows you, man. Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, my wife is the real pretty, hot, sexy girl that comes on these live streams sometimes and yells at me. You're a Texas special. Well, I hate to say this, but I am just special. You know, so there you go. Let me see. All right, Luffy, I know you tried to make a comment about that might be a little racy, so you got to clean it up and try it again. We'll have to go to my phone is about to die. Well, that's why you got to have a charger for your phone, Gabe. Come on now. How long do you plan on being here? Oh, I don't know, another hour and a half or so. Great job, Gabe. Better to be famous than rich. Really? That's a great question. Would you rather be famous or rich? I would rather be rich and not famous. I mean, right now, I'm famous and poor. So Dennis, better than you dying. Yes, that's it. That's it. Yepers. So, yeah, that's a good question. Dennis, Henry, everybody in the background, what would you rather? Would you rather be rich or would you rather be famous? I would rather be rich. And he says, I'll be right back, man. I got to go flirt with Bai. So, show me the money, honey. Absolutely. Right, Tim? Man, I would rather be wealthy, without question. Then it's good. I can chat up by now. That's right. She was here earlier. Scotty B, you already rich, David. You have a swimming pool in your house. Oh, the fish tank. So I got a swimming pool outside now too, Scotty. The Gabe says, I'll see you later, guys. I got to go charge my phone. Down here in Texas, we have to charge our phones. So I'm going to go do that. Michael Moore's in the house saying hello to everybody. Scotty, we put a swimming pool in the backyard about 2 weeks ago. My wife's going to plant jalapeno peppers in one of those little kiddie pools. I know, but she's convinced herself that it makes a great raised bed. So we had to buy one at Walmart for like $10. And she's going to plant her hot peppers in it. Yeah, Filipino, right? I've been to both sides. Rich is better. Yes. I would agree with you. Michael, you're not doing well. Is that what you're saying? Are you feeling good today, Michael? Everything going okay for you? You can put the fish on the outside now. Oh, I know. But she's already going to put mulch and dirt and, I told her the other day, I said, what I'm worried about, if you buy a swimming pool to put in a yard to grow vegetables in, when we get ready to sell this property later in this year, we're going to look like white trash. Why don't we just get some extra toilets and put out in the yard and grow flowers in the toilets? You know what I mean? So, well, that's it. That's it, Tim. If I was rich, I could have my beach house. And I would be happy then. I would be very excited to have a waterfront house. And I would invite you to come over, Tim. I really would. I'd have Lorelai cook you some food. You probably wouldn't want it, but, I'd have Lorelai cook you some food, Tim. So, yeah, if I was rich, yeah, buddy. But yeah, Lorelai's going to do a lot of gardening, and you guys are going to wind up seeing all of that. Just dig a hole, fill it up with water, and then you have a built-in swimming pool. I know, right? You know, but my wife is all about green beans. Scotty, we got the green beans. Hot peppers, cucumbers. I don't know, man. She's going to go crazy. Bell peppers. The sad thing where we live at, we're so close to the lake here, the ground is rock solid. I mean, there's really, you got to have some serious manpower to dig a hole in this yard. Well, Henry, what I technically want is a house on the Intercoastal Waterway with a boat dock. Like on a bay or up in a river where I get to look out and look at the ocean or the salt water and some things, but I got a boat dock. I don't want to live on a beach. Yep, I got a tomato plant. I got one tomato plant. It's a cherry tomato. That's the only plant that's mine. But everything else is Lorelai's. And so we're just going to let her go crazy this year. When we go to Alabama and live, we're going to try to grow a what's the tree? A mungai tree? Is that how you say it? Mungai tree? Mungon tree, whatever it is. We tried to grow one in Arkansas years ago and it died. Just dump some sand around the hole with the water and you got a beach house. There you go. See? Scotty's thinking outside the box now. Man, where were you 10 years ago? I should get a patio tomato plant. You should. Yeah. Oh, thinking of patio, I'm getting ready to extend my patio. One of these, it's too cold out right now. But later this week, maybe I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. I'm making a project. So on my back patio, where I go and do my live streams, I got my big barbecue grill, and I had to kind of sit off, and the back wheels were on brick. But this winter, I had a mole come in the yard and dig that out, and so it almost fell over. So a buddy came over the other day, and we decided what we're going to do is dig out from the house. We're going to extend the patio, and the patio, I think, is 16 feet. So we're going to go 16 by 4 feet so that I got a place to put my barbecue grill on under, a little bit outside the patio. So we're going to be working on that this weekend. I got to go to Lowe's this weekend and buy the supplies I need. And we're going to be working on that. And I'm going to try to get it set up so that when we get back from Alabama, it'll be rock hard and I can put everything in place. Yep, we're going to extend the barbecue area and move it out. The other good thing about it is, part of why I had it was we have the back patio's covered, right? So, and I had the barbecue grill right at the edge of it. So that it wouldn't get hot and burn the roof, of course, if anything bad happened. But it is now going to be moved out probably 2 feet from the roof of the house. So that's an added benefit to it. But it's also going to allow me to have more room for furniture out there. So I'm excited about it. It's only going to run, I think, about $120 to do it all. We got to buy some Quikrete, a couple 2x4s, and some like rabbit fence to put in there to keep it nice and strong. So that's what we're doing. We're going to do that. Even though we're not going to live here forever, Lorelai and I, we entertain and we spend so much time outside. We need that area to be in good shape because we have a sink out there. We have a dirty kitchen. I have the barbecue grill that has a smoker on it. Also a gas burner, charcoal burner. I have a sink out there, and I also have a pizza oven out there that also works as a flat top. So I need to get that organized because even though we're not going to live here forever, we're not going to get out of here until September or October at the earliest. So I want to be able to enjoy the summer out there because I spend a lot of time out there during the summer months. I'll go out there early in the mornings and do live streams late at night. I know. What I should do is just go and buy like 50 or 60,000 tons of sand and have somebody come and dump it in my backyard, right? It's funny though that you say that because in my part of the country, we have an area called Bella Vista. It's up in the hills, right? Like this. A lot of those yards have rock for grass. Instead of planting grass, they just put rock down. Big weed barrier, and they put gravel, pea gravel all over so they don't mow anything. But yeah, we have actually quite a few little cookouts and events in our backyard during the summer. And, I got the fire pit, the fireplace that we bought last year. So it's really nice to hang out. I like it. And I got the ceiling fan and the lights. So, well, we spend a lot of time outdoors. But I got a dirty kitchen. I made my own dirty kitchen. And when we go to Alabama, I'm going to build one permanently. I'm going to build one with tile and a substructure. And we're going to lay it out to where it's a little bit bigger and roomier. And we're going to make a real dirty kitchen, but we're going to make it an American-style dirty kitchen. We're going to make it look like, woohoo, man, those people are rich. I just have to go buy everything secondhand. But we do that. I like to cook outside during the summer a lot. Really like it. We even got a deep fryer out there, like a turkey deep fryer. I've got that set up so that when I make a crispy pata, I can make it outdoors and fry that big old pig ankle in the crispy pot to make crispy pata. So I got one of those outside, and it's also set up to where I can take my pressure cooker. I got a big gas pressure cooker outside and put it on the gas thingy. Even though we've only used a pressure cooker once, the big one, the regular one we use quite a bit, but we have a big one. But I've only used it once. But Lorelai had to have it, so we bought it. I thought about putting a TV out there, but I don't like the way I would sit to watch the TV, if that makes sense. I like to be facing a certain direction, and I would have to turn myself around to watch the TV. And I don't like that, so no TV. Scotty says, have a great stream. Gotta run. Run like the wind. Everybody say goodbye to Scotty. Scotty, we appreciate you. That's right. No dried fish in the house. And we even have one of those real exhaust hoods that's strong and sucks odors directly outside the house. But she can only do dry fish outside. The good thing is, over the years of my wife being in America, she really doesn't like the dried fish as much as she used to. So we have some in the refrigerator, that's ready. But she doesn't really like it. She says that it's starting to upset her stomach. So I'm like, yay, that's good news. We don't ever have to make that crap. So no more dried fish around here, I don't think. Now, we still have friends that like it, so, but they got to do it outside. I've told you guys the funny story. I had a buddy of mine who was dating a Filipina. And this is when we all went to Alabama on a vacation. There was like 4 mixed couples, right? And we booked a really nice beach house in Alabama for a week. And we split the cost, an Airbnb. A really nice one, right on the water. And and I told my friend who was dating a Filipina who hadn't been dating her very long, they made a bunch of dry fish outside. And they were eating, they had it in the house, and he asked what it was, and I tried to explain to him, and the girls all explained to him. And he ate some of it, and he's like, well, it's not bad. And I told him, I said, look, you don't want to eat very much of that. He's like, no, it's not bad. So he kept eating it and eating it and eating it. Boy, that boy got sick as a dog. I told him, I said, you can't just pick some weird food that you've never had before and chow down on it, and eat a pound of it and expect not to get sick. And dried fish, come on. And you've never had anything like that in your life? So don't you think your stomach is not going to be able to adapt to that? I try to stop him. But he's like, oh, no, I'm all right. All right. Well, he learned his lesson the hard way that night. But they broke up a while later, so they didn't wind up getting married or anything. But she was kind of a weird girl anyway. We don't know whatever happened to her. I think she moved away. So she had a problem with telling the truth. She was one of those Filipinas that had a problem of telling the truth. So, so he got lucky, I guess, right? He got lucky. Was able to save himself a lot of grief and headache, is what I told him. So, but we do got another single friend that Lorelai is going to introduce to a couple of her single Filipina friends that live here later on. They're in the older group, way older than us guys. Well, yeah, no dried fish around you. It doesn't bother me if they kind of do it over there downwind, but I don't want it sitting next to me at the table. I've made the dried fish for Lorelai and her friends, so I've done that. I took the dried fish and refried it, and I hated it. It was disgusting. So I have rules. Don't do it in the house, and I don't want to sit next to it. So, but, they I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a fish tasting potato chip. I've eaten it. I've tried it and went, yeah, okay, thank you, but no. Just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. But they can eat it all they want. So, yeah, we're going to introduce a friend of ours. They're part of the older generation. And see if maybe they like hanging out with each other later this year when we get back from Alabama. So, what else are your rules, Henry? What other kind of rules do you have? I have a lot of rules. I just can never remember them. My wife always says I'm making up rules as I go. I'm like, well, yeah, rule number 1. I get to make up rules as I go, right? That's rule number 1. My rules don't have to be hard and fast rules. They can just be at a whim, hey, yeah, this, that, you know what I mean? They don't got to be hard and fast, right, guys? It doesn't have to be written down. I reserve the right to make up new rules as I feel like, depending on how I feel that day. But Lorelai doesn't think it's fair, but that's all right. She'll get used to it. After 20,000 years of marriage, Lorelai will finally get used to putting up with me. So I think it'll be a good thing. We're going to Alabama at the end of the month, the last week of April, into the first week of May is when we're going to be in Alabama and Florida. So we're going to, we've got an Airbnb out in Foley, Alabama, which is just north of Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. And then we're going to be all over that area on both sides of the bay. And then we're also going to spend a day in Pensacola, house hunting and looking at some Asian stores, and think and give some thought to whether we want to, we might consider Pensacola, Florida to live in. So we're going to look at Pensacola while we're there. Since we're going to be an hour away from Pensacola, we're going to go over and look at it and look at some houses and neighborhoods and all of that stuff, because they have a whole lot more Asian stores and they have a pretty good, decent housing market. The values aren't horrible there. And You know, Florida is in the process of trying to get rid of their real estate tax, which would be a really good thing. It goes on the ballot in 2026. And there's a big movement for everybody to vote down paying property taxes in Florida. So that'd be a good thing. But Lorelei likes Pensacola. We've been through there before, but she kind of likes it. She definitely likes it better than the Mobile side of the Mobile Bay versus the Foley, Alabama side of the Mobile Bay. And we like that side too because it's more relaxed, more country, more easygoing. So, but we're going to go to Pensacola one day and check it out. We're going to do some fishing. We're going to go down to the Fairhope Pier, probably the Orange Beach Seawall. I got some places picked out in Dolphin that I'm going to try some fishing places. So, part of what I got to look at is living where I can go fishing in about 30 minutes. That's my dream. So Henry says, yep, you know that area? Yeah, well, you're not very far from there. What are you? You're probably hour and a half, 2 hours from Foley, from Gulf Shores, Alabama. So yeah, you're probably, what, 2 hours, I would think, down to Gulf Shores. So we like Gulf Shores. We've been there a bunch of times. We've been to Orange Beach a lot. We've been to Panama City, Destin, Florida. We've been all through that region a whole lot. We're just trying to find a place that would be really financially best to live so that we put more money in our pocket versus paying on a house. Yeah, about a 2 hour drive. Yeah, and we're going to stay in Foley, which is literally about an hour from Pensacola. That's part of what we like about it. Because if we live in the Foley area, Pensacola, Florida, because they have the military base there, right? They have a whole lot more Asian stores and Asian restaurants in Pensacola, Florida. So even if we wind up living in Alabama, we can drive over on a weekend or, whenever, and buy groceries that Lorelei likes and go to some of the Asian stores and take advantage of some of that stuff in Pensacola if we don't want to live in Pensacola. So that's what we're working on. We're working on all of that stuff. Unless I win the lottery, then we're going to go somewhere else in Florida. But it's exciting right now. There's a lot going on. They're putting a lot of money into the Bay of Mobile. Carnival Cruise Line has announced that they're going to be running a cruise ship out of Mobile Bay year-round. It used to be only 6 months out of the year, but now they're going to be having one there year-round. So the port is getting bigger and better. And there is something else going on at the port of Mobile that's really good for that region. You just jump on 98 and take it all the way there. So you don't go up and over to Interstate 10 and go over there, because don't you got to go to Interstate 10? Or are you talking about, or you'd have to take the ferry. Is it 98? Interstate 10, right? Isn't that the interstate? I'll have to look at how you would get there. Because you kind of got to do this, right? To get up past the Mobile Bay. You got to go up and over Mobile Bay. You can take the bridge to Dauphin Island to Gulf Shores, Alabama, but don't you got to take a ferry from Dauphin Island over to Gulf Shores? So, taking the back road, yeah. But what I mean is, you got to go all the way up to where Interstate 10 is to find any roads that go up and around the Mobile Bay. Because Mobile Bay is kind of shaped like a pyramid. And so there's only one bridge on the interstate, that goes across. So you kind of got to go up. You can't go straight across, is my point. But, well, I guess they probably do that because of the shipping lanes, right? But you would think they could put another one in and figure out how to still allow shipping traffic to come through. the bay, down like maybe in the middle of it. So I don't know. Yeah, 10 is easier, right. Tim says, I go to New Braunfels, Texas, 3 hours to the Gulf, less than 2 hours to the Texas Hill Country. Yeah. Yeah, we've been to the Texas Gulf Coast a lot. A lot. We have. We, there's a couple things we've looked at living in Texas. One, the property tax is really high. They don't have any state income tax, but the property tax is high. Two, the Gulf in Texas is really dirty. Three, I don't know if Lorelai and I are really into the whole Texas vibe, meaning you're either Texan or you're a nobody. You know, I don't know if I don't know if Lorelai and I are Texan people, but we kind of fit in Alabama because we're laid back people. Been to Rockport, Texas. I've been there too. Yep. Lake Travis is good for boating. Nice, yes. Yeah, and that's kind of the weird thing. What I want to do is brackish water and saltwater fish. You know, I have freshwater fished all my life, and I've owned boats. And at this age and with this health, I don't really want to own a boat anymore. I would be happy, and that's what we're going to be looking for. I'd be really happy having places that I can just drive my truck to, get out in a lawn chair, and move around and fish at different locations. That's what I'm looking for, because boat ownership is expensive, and it's also can be physically challenging. So I've kind of gotten over that whole let's own a boat thing. But yeah, you know, we like boating. And the other thing, Tim, and everybody I look at is, if we want to go out on a boat, we can hire a charter to go out. Austin, Texas for the crazies? Yes, I know. I just don't think we're Texas people. It's like we're not California people or Arizona people. We're just not. I don't fit in the Texas at all, so I try to stay out of Texas. Well, we go to Texas at least once a year, but I just not into that whole, woohoo, Texas! Yeah. I just, you know what I mean? I can't get excited about their rah, 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 Texas, rah, rah, rah. I just can't do it. But in places like Florida, Alabama, Georgia, parts of Mississippi are more laid back. And we're a little bit more like, yeah, you know, a little bit of, you know, food and sun and entertainment, but we like it to be chill. That was part of the problem in the Philippines. Nothing was chill in the Philippines. Even though there was not a lot to do, it was always chaotic. So we're looking more for that. And I just don't need the drama of Texan people going, well, you're not from Texas, you're not a Texan. So you don't have any right to say any damn thing about any damn thing because you're not from Texas. Whatever. Yeah. Yep, I have troubles with that too when I'm in Texas. I know. Texas is a big state, many people fit in. Well, I know, but I get what you're saying. But it's almost kind of like, and I know it's regional. It's like Dallas, you know, has all the fake blondes in it, right? That region. And then you got the Gulf Coast. You got the Brownsville area that's more Hispanic. So you can find different places that you may fit in, but they all think their part is better than every other part. And if you're not from Texas, then you're not a true Texan. And how dare you say anything about anything? Well, you know, if I'm paying my taxes in Texas, I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to say. So, that's just kind of my thing. And I know there's the out west, the panhandle, the crazies, in Austin, the gay community, so I don't know where we would fit in. You lived in San Antonio. I've been to San Antonio, to the River Walk down in San Antonio. I did some training down there years ago, and I was down at the River Walk, which is really cool. And I also got to see down in San Marcos. I was there at another training event where the bats are. So I got to see that. Now I might be able to fit into San Antonio. I don't know, maybe. But I don't know. I think we'll just avoid Texas. But like I said, the property taxes are so high in Texas, it's unbelievable. I got a brother that lives in Dallas-Fort Worth area. And his home was just reassessed. And he told me the other day, he's like, oh man, you're not going to believe this. My taxes and insurance on my house went up $1,200 combined a month where he's at. And they got a big home. They do. They got a big home. But it went up $1,200 a month. Not a year, a month. I lived in San Antonio in the early 80s. All right. Never lived in Texas, just been there a lot. We've been to Galveston a lot, and maybe we would fit into Galveston, but I think Galveston's expensive. So, and we might fit in some of the areas outside and around Houston. I don't know. So, Kelly Air Force Base, all right, down in San Antonio, nice. So, I don't know if we're just Texas people. I don't know. I don't know. But we kind of feel at home in other places. So, it's like we're not Missouri people either. I wouldn't live in the state of Missouri. Well, but I thought that's where San Marcos was. That's where the bat population is so large they can see it on radar. Because I went to San Marcos and watched them come out of these caves. Or maybe, is that town next or close to San Marcos? Because we weren't like in San Marcos. I mean, I went to San Marcos for a training event, and I went with some other people somewhere local to watch all the bats come out. And that's what they would say. There's like 1 million bats that come out to feed. So maybe that's the same region. I don't know. Henry said, yep, won't move back to Missouri. I won't either. Look, I think there's places in Missouri that are just fine. But one, for me, Missouri's too cold. And two, like I just said, there's places in Missouri that are just fine to live in. All you're doing is living there. And I guess that's okay, but that's not what I want. I want to experience life. I don't want to live somewhere. I want to experience something. San Marcos is nice. Yeah. I went down there to some college and did some training for a few weeks. So, but somebody took me out and about, and we watched the bats. Out and about with M&D. Show me state. Yes, the show me state. But I'm not a big Missouri, but I wouldn't live in Missouri, and I wouldn't live anywhere above Arkansas. I just wouldn't. It's too damn cold. I think it's too boring. Arkansas is too boring. I'm bored to death in Arkansas as it is. So that's where we like the Panhandle. I was telling Lorelei with this new announcement from Carnival Cruise Line how they're going to be putting cruise ship in Mobile Bay year-round now, and they're going to be running cruises out of there. That means if we live in Pensacola and or Mobile, Alabama, you can run up to New Orleans, you can run to Mobile, you can run down to Tampa and or Cape Canaveral within a day, and Jacksonville within a day. Out and about in the house. Henry says, I got too much family in Missouri, don't want to be a part of that drama again. I don't blame you. I tell people all the time, drama's not worth it. It's not. Well, Henry, where you're at in Mississippi is not bad. You know, we looked at buying property in Bay St. Louis. And what's the other one? Bay St. Louis and Seaport? Is it Seaport that's right there next to it or whatever? But Lord, I liked it. I didn't like the fishing because it was all big mud flats. But Lorelei just thought it was too boring. Not enough things to do where we were looking at in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. Tim says, Henry, I have spent 3 years at Randolph and 10 years at Kelly. Wow. Yeah, Tim put a lot of years in. But parts of Mississippi are fine. I wouldn't live in Louisiana either. I think Louisiana is kind of like a big old swamp. And I got family in Louisiana. I wouldn't live in Louisiana. Tennessee's a beautiful state. It's not where I want to be because there's no saltwater fishing, but Tennessee's a beautiful state. And parts of Georgia's really nice, and the Carolinas are really nice. But it's just too damn cold. So, you know, you just got to think about that. But I've been to all of them over the 5 years I was there. Nice, yes. So, is it Seaport or Seaside where you're at, Henry? That's close to Bay St. Louis. I can't remember. But Mississippi's a cheap state to live in. Home values are cheap in a lot of places. Not all places, but most places. I don't know about the job market or the education or anything like that, but I do know you could buy land there fairly cheap out in the country and live peacefully. Biloxi is not my ideal of fun. Okay. We've been to Biloxi and Gulfport. I thought Gulfport was okay. Tim, were you ever at Gulfport? I didn't really like Biloxi either, but I was down in Gulfport, and I thought, well, this is all right. I mean, it's not great or anything. It not makes you go, ooh. But I thought Gulfport was a place that you could live peacefully. You know, different areas. I did. So... But we prefer Florida, but you know, the cost of houses in Florida is just so high. I can't remember either. Yeah. I think it's Seaside or something like that. But we decided to pass on Bay St. Louis. And that's where we regained our focus, looking at Alabama and Florida really hard, but our dream would be to be in like Fort Myers, Florida, would be the ideal place. It's a nice big town with a lot of areas that's away from town, but the home values are still pretty healthy there. Yeah, I remember that, Henry. You're in the outskirts of Gulfport. I thought Gulfport was okay. You know, I don't know it well, of course, but I did go. Yeah, you know, all right. This is what I thought, but I don't know, man. I'd really like to be down in Fort Myers, Florida, again, living there. I lived there in the early 90s, and I'd really like to live there again. I don't know how it's changed, but if home prices just weren't so crazy. New Brunsville has a huge water park. Ah, nice. What's the cost of living like in there, Tim? Is it expensive? You know, one of the cheapest places to live in Texas is like in Beaumont. But why it's so cheap, because we've actually looked at this, and I did some studying on it. Lorelei got excited because she saw some beautiful homes, really cheap in Beaumont. And so I got looking into it, and I remember from my teaching days, there's a lot of industry there. And so they have some of the worst air quality in the nation, Beaumont, Texas area. Some of the worst water quality, soil quality. Yeah, air quality, everything is no bueno in that part of Texas. And I told her, I said, well, that's why it's so cheap there, because nobody wants to live there because of all the chemical factories that are located there. Not bad, stay out of the city? Yes. So, you know, it's just one of those things. We just don't know where we're going to wind up, but we're trying to be open minded. You know, we stayed down in Cocoa Beach. Lorelai doesn't like it because she finds it too boring. Kind of like St. Louis, Mississippi, Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. Lorelai finds Cocoa Beach boring because there's not a lot to do there but go fishing. I really like it. I mean, I found it a little ran down. It's where the Kennedy Space Center is and SpaceX, all of that stuff is. That's Merritt Island. That's where NASA, that's where all of that is. But there's not a lot to do there. You would think there'd be more to do in that part of the region. There's not. I've been gone a long time to comment on affordability there. Well, how was it way back in the day? And, you know, anything south of Florida is just expensive. Well, anything in Florida is expensive. And we've looked at living in Georgia, but I don't think living in Georgia would be good for us either. I don't think it's the right fit. I think there's some really nice places in Georgia. Jacksonville, Florida is off the list. I've been to Jacksonville a few times, and I don't like how dirty of a city it is. I don't like the vibe of Jacksonville. To me, it's a sleazy city. If that makes sense, it's kind of just a shit city. So it's kind of like Little Rock, Arkansas. It's just kind of a shit city. So that's how I see that. So we know that we wouldn't want to live in Jacksonville. Jacksonville. We've been to Orlando a few times, and Orlando's okay. You know, in parts, a lot of parts aren't, but some areas are pretty nice. If you wanted Tampa Bay, we've been there. You know, gosh, I don't know. I don't know. But one of these days, we'll figure it out. That's why we travel and go do things. And Waveland, that's it. Lakeshore, Bay St. Louis, Pass Christian, and Long Beach. That's correct, Henry. You're right. You're right. We went Waveland and Lakeshore and Bay St. That's correct. So we did all of that. So that's correct. That's correct, Henry. Wayland. But Lorelai found it too boring there. Not enough malls and shopping and things to do, besides casinos. So we went to the Silver Slipper. I think it's technically in Waveland, not Bay St. Louis, but we went to the Silver Slipper. Had a really good buffet there. But Lorelai's not a gambler and a drinker, so. So what you have to ask yourself is, what is my wife looking for in a place to live? Well, movie theaters, malls, outdoor parks and fishing like I want, stores, restaurants, things like that. That's what my wife looks for. Is where there's some stores and restaurants to go thing. You know, Bass Pro Shop closed because it has shopping in it. Malls, you know, nice restaurants and stuff. So Lakeshore floods all the time. Yeah, I believe it. All that area is, and that's what I didn't like about it, Henry, was when I got really looking at it, it was just one great big mud flat out into the Gulf of Mexico. You know, it's just a big mud flat. So that's what it seemed to me. It seemed like just a big ass old mud flat. But, you know, it was nice. I mean, for me, I'm like, yeah, I could retire here, but I mean, I'm boring and old. So that's what we, you know, because I got to find a place that my wife is happy and I'm happy. That's kind of where we blend. That's partly where we kind of look at Alabama, the Foley, Alabama, because it's a lot like, it has a lot of shopping and things to do. Then you have all the beaches and the fishing piers and the parks, and Florida's close. Oh, that's one thing I need to do. Since we decided the other day that we're going to go spend the day in Pensacola while we're there, I got to Google. Lorelai's going to be looking at houses. I'm going to go look at sushi restaurants because there's a large Asian population there, so I'm hoping they have some good sushi houses there. It's below sea level there. Yeah, exactly. 97 at 9:30 a.m. here. Woohoo, congratulations. Wouldn't it be nice if it was only 79 at 9:30 a.m. like in America? That's crazy. Are you running your AC? Tim, is your gym indoors or outdoors? Because the only gymnasium or fitness center I saw in the Philippines was all outdoors. So I wonder, I wish I had somebody that I could go and work out with. I would love to have a workout partner, but I don't. So, but we do. We don't mind driving about 2.5 hours. So we have kind of a rule that I've created that we're looking for 2 to 2.5 hours. And around that 2 to 2.5 hours, we want a lot of things to be done. So it's like here, we go to Branson, Tulsa, but there's only a few places here. But we've grown accustomed to driving 2.5 hours to go spend the day at. You have a smart AC? Nice. I didn't know there was a smart one. What do you mean by smart AC? Is that the brand name? I don't remember what our brands were in the Philippines. So, or maybe is it automatic adjusting? Is that kind of what you mean? Automatically goes up and down? But, so we've learned that. We like to be able to go 2.5 hours, get up in the morning, run somewhere, have lunch, go do an activity in the afternoon, and be able to turn around and come home in 2 hours. And, we really enjoy that type of thing. There is a great Anytime Fitness Center here. Really? Wow. That's interesting. That's good. Yeah, the only ones I saw in Cebu were these, I didn't see any branded ones anywhere in Cebu. And I'm saying they're not there, but I didn't see any. The only thing I ever saw were kind of like these, I don't know, outdoor prison camp looking ones. It's like a prison yard, maybe without the fence, but it kind of, rusty weights and, so it's a smart one, so it uses less electricity. Okay, I got you. That's good. That's good. So that's all I ever saw in the Philippines was rusty weights, fitness, that type of thing. Same thing with the pool tables. I always amazed that even though they were covered by like a patio, you got to know those pool tables have been wet so many times, and they're out there shooting pool on these pool tables. And I'm sure, I always thought, man, I hope that's truly a slate table, but because I don't think they make all weather pool tables. But we're looking forward to having a better quality of life, and maybe it's my fault because I get bored easily. But when I get bored, I want to be able to go fishing, to be honest. I want to drive a half hour, go fish for a few hours, go explore with Lorelai, go on some nature trails that we've never seen, go to restaurants we've been to everything. Well, and part of it, where we live, there's so many new restaurants here, but the population is so large here, you can't get to those restaurants. And when you finally do get in there, it's so damn expensive because they got a line of people waiting outside for 3 hours. So they can jack their prices way up because people are waiting in line outside. And I mean that. Even Texas Roadhouse, on a Friday, Saturday night, Sunday day, you might have to wait an hour and a half to get into a Texas Roadhouse. The Asian buffet that they all like to go to here that we know the people really well, the Tokyo House is what it's called. Last time we were there for everybody's birthday, we had to wait 40 minutes to get seated. And they had a line so long that there were still people trying to get a table at 9 o'clock at night. I'm telling you. It's just crazy here. I do know a IFBB Pro Card bodybuilder that is a personal trainer there. In fact, she is coming over this afternoon. Woo! Timmy's got a visitor. Wow. Are you going to take a video and put her on the YouTube channel? Wow. Does your girlfriend know she's coming over? Timmy? I used to be a big weightlifter. I did. I don't know how much I could bench press now. One time I was over 400 pounds bench pressing. Now I'd probably be lucky to do 225, but I would like to get back up to about 300 pounds. Pat's in the house. Everybody say hello to Pat. Pat, how are you, my friend? What's going on in your part of the world? Thank you for coming in. The thumbs up. Pat has been enjoying, I notice, over at Floor's channel when she does live streams. He's been hanging out over there, checking out the girls. You know, I think he thinks we're a bunch of ugly men now and doing a lot better than yesterday. Good, good. All right, your girlfriend knows her? All right, I'm just checking, Tim, you know. I'm just checking. Well, good. Pat says he's doing better than yesterday. Nice, nice. I think Pat Floor is lives close to you, right? Doesn't she live up in your part of the world? I don't care if my wife knew her or not. My wife wouldn't let her in the house. So you're a lucky man. Yes, she does. I see. Yes. I did a fitness live stream with her. Nice. Pat likes that, laughing. Yes. You know, here's something I'm thinking about approaching. I need to figure it out. Is the guy that we're going to meet in Alabama, who's a real estate agent, has a big YouTube channel. I'm thinking about contacting him, saying, "Hey, you know, we're coming, and we do YouTube also. Are you opposed to us?" And you could video it too, but videoing our meeting and talking about real estate in Alabama. I could post it on my channel, and he can post it on his. So I'm going to call him here soon and say, "Hey, you know, we're still coming to Alabama. We want to meet with you. But I know you got your channel. I have my channel. I would like to video it, and you could video it if you want to for your channel. And we can just talk about real estate, and we can edit it, you know, to take out all the silliness." So, Pat says, "Hello, Tim." Tim has a hot, sexy bodybuilder coming to his house later, Pat. So, he's got some professional woman coming over and flex them muscles. Pat saying hello to you, Henry. Henry has a girlfriend now, Pat. He's getting ready to go to the Philippines in October and see young Miss Bai in the Philippines in October, Pat. So say congratulations to Henry. I know Pat is hoping to get himself back to the Philippines too, soon too. It is good. It all is good, man. It's all a good day, right? It's a good day in America. Pat, make sure they approve the video. You mean my real estate guy or YouTube? Because the real estate agent that we're going to use in Alabama, he has a YouTube channel. And I've been watching it. That's how I found him. And I've talked to him a couple of times on the phone and said, "Hey, you know, we got a channel too. This is how I found you." But I'd call him up and say, "Look, when we meet," because all we're going to do is talk about the real estate market. When we meet, or are you talking about the coffee house? So, because we're going to meet, but I would say, "Hey, are you okay with us videoing this for our channel? And if you want, you can use it for your channel if you need to." Yeah, so I'm going to ask him beforehand. That's correct, Tim. If he's not comfortable with it, then we're not going to do it. It's not that important to me. But I thought since he has a YouTube channel, maybe he could edit things that he wants to say about the real estate market on his channel. You know what I mean? Because I got questions to ask, and sometimes I have fairly good questions. So that's where I was going to approach him with this, that we could edit it and not make us look stupid down the road. But so yes, Tim. Well, I got to get going. Got a doctor's appointment in the morning. All right, Henry, get some rest. Take care. Get some rest. Get some sleep. Get ready for that doctor. Gabe was here earlier tonight. Yes, he was. He was. We had a troll finally. We finally had a troll. He wasn't a very good troll, though. That was the bad thing. I don't know if it was Jack or some other troll, but we did have a troll for a little bit. But we wind up putting him in timeout. Yeah, Gabe was here. We had Scotty was here. We had a bunch of other people here early on. So it's good to have trolls, but after a while they get old. So you do got to either get them to get pissed off or you got to just put them away. But, you know, it never hurts to have a few trolls once in a while. So, but we're not going to be on here super long tonight. I got some things to do. So I think, to be honest, Pat and everybody, we're going to kind of wind this one down in the next couple of minutes so that I can get some things done around the house. But we're excited about Alabama. We want to get back to, we got things to do in the Philippines, house related, property related. We got a lot of work to do in the next couple of years. We just got to find a happy spot. The troll gave me a headache. Yeah. Well, Tim, the good thing is you're blue. If he gives you a headache, just push him out. Even if I'm egging him on, I'm okay with you guys going, all right, that's enough, and pushing them out, you know, because I like to aggravate them. I like to agitate them. You know, I like to torture them. And then I like to pretend that they're not there, you know, where you just skip all of their crap and don't acknowledge them. So, but Tim, if that happens, and Dennis was here earlier too, Tim, you're welcome just to go beep and put them in timeout. So, I don't know what troll that was, but he seemed to be familiar in some ways. You know what I mean? But that's all right. That's all right. I had one troll follow me all weekend and other channels called me every name in the book. Wow. You should have said, man, you have a great vocabulary. You've called me so many names that you must have a very impressive vocabulary. Well, why was he picking on you? Why was he calling you names? Were you flirting with a girl that he liked or something? That's one thing I see on some of these girl live streams. The guys will get jealous of each other because somebody is saying, hey, beautiful, this, blah, 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 you know, and another guy's going, hey, you know,